Welcome back, toy fans, to episode 162 of Reynolds Reviews. And on today's episode, we're taking a look at this bad boy. Cue the match. Welcome back, everyone. Now, like I said in the intro, today we are going to take a look at the Playmobil Knight Rider set. Now, I've got to say, I absolutely love Playmobil. Now, I'm not going to collect it with any kind of dedication. I'm not going after the vintage Playmobil sets. Very much like Shabby's now starting to pick up, I am only chasing the 80s sets. So, for example, things like the Ghostbusters set. Now, I don't have that because I've got an original Kenner Ecto once. I don't kind of feel the need for that set, but I have got the DeLorean, I've got the A-Team van, and now I've got the Knight Rider set, and I will be picking up the Magnum PI set once that's released. But I've got to admit, I love these Playmobil 80s sets. I think they're just great value for money. I think the attention to detail is fantastic, and I absolutely cannot wait to get into this Knight Rider set. So, without further ado, let's get it under some lights and take a closer look.
Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
Okay, here we go. Just before we get going, how cool was that commercial, by the way? That Knight Rider intro with the Playmobil figures, how awesome was that? But, okay, so here we go. Very much like the 18 box, I just think the boxes for these Playmobil 80s sets are absolutely awesome. So, as you can see, we've got that huge image of KITT and Michael on the front there. We've got the sunset in the background, very much like the original intro on the TV show. And then, of course, we've got a little circle just there, and it says, "Ride away, Michael." So making it very clear that there are electrics in this set, unlike the A-Team set, which I fell foul of. But yeah, a very, very cool box. Very reminiscent of the intro, like I said. And then we've got the characters at the bottom there. So we've got Michael Knight, Devon Miles, and Bonnie Barstow. And again, I just think the packaging is awesome. You know, and again, I've said before, it pulls us in, us adult collectors. Straight away we see it, we remember the TV show, we remember watching it as a kid, and we want to buy it. And that's exactly what these sets are doing to me. So, okay, let's take a look at the back. And there we go, on the back, very much like the A-Team set. We've got a few more details of the car. So it look, oh, I hope the tail lights work. The tail lights look like they're working on that. That'd be cool. It's got a flip-up number plate, and then we've got obviously Knight Rider and Michael in the seat there. We've got Bonnie Barstow and her little workstation, and we've got Devon Miles and his desk and his computer and his phone and fax. And then we've got a few more images at the bottom. So we've got flip-up headlights as well. Wow, this is cool, man. And then we've got the inside with the dash and all the computerized dash and that iconic steering wheel as well. So you know what, I'm absolutely buzzing to get into this set. I really can't wait, get some batteries in and get the features going. But yeah, okay, so let's get this opened up and see what we've got. Okay, here we go. So upon opening the box, what I noticed immediately was, well, I noticed a few things, to be fair. So obviously we've got the instructions as normal, like we did in the A-Team set. But what I noticed immediately was, if you recall, I'm pretty sure when I opened the A-Team van, the van itself was in like a protective bag, like a cellophane bag. And when I opened this box, the roof had come off the car and was rattling around inside the box. Luckily, it's okay. But immediately, I thought, well, the car isn't in a protective bag. Now, if it was in a bag like the A-Team van, even if the roof had come off, it'd have stayed in the bag and it wouldn't have been able to rattle around in the box. So that was what struck me immediately, that the car had no protection. There's a bit of damage to the packaging there, which it's just the packaging, that's fine. And obviously Michael, as you can see, is upside down. Now, this was sealed, the box was sealed, so it's not been opened previously, so I can only assume this has just been done at the factory. The car's just been chucked in the box without its bag, and Michael has just been chucked in upside down. Now, again, not a big deal, the car looks fine, but just one of those things that you think, just a bit of attention to detail, you know, you want to feel that these people that are sort of packing these products care about them, you know, but I guess not. But yeah, so a little bit disappointed to start with. However, like I said, I think the car is okay. So we've got the main body of the car there. Obviously it needs its wheels on. And then, like I said in the 18 video, I love these sort of individual compartments for the figures. We've got 3 compartments there for the figures to go in, and then of course inside this, yeah, will be the pieces for the car and accessories for the figures. So let's say a little bit disappointed about the packaging, but let's get it opened up, let's get KITT put together and see what we've got. And there we go, everyone. So, you know what? For quite a small set, it did take a little bit of putting together that. It was a little bit of an awkward sort of build with the wheels and things like that. It was a bit tricky, but awesome once finished. So, I'm going to start with the side characters because we're not here really to look at those. We're here to look at KITT and Michael Knight. But, as you can see, so we've got Devon Miles in his suit. Now, Devon, if I remember rightly, was the sort of mastermind behind the whole project. He helped create KITT, and he sort of oversees things. He oversees the missions and oversees the projects. And I don't believe, if I remember rightly, Michael and Devon didn't always get along, but yeah, obviously really cool figure. And then we've got Bonnie Barstow, and Bonnie was KITT's sort of personal mechanic, if you like. She always did any repairs that KITT needed, and any upgrades or any work that KITT needed, Bonnie did. So there's Bonnie, and then of course we've got Michael Knight himself with his trademark red turtleneck, his leather jacket, and he's even got his watch look, so he could talk to KITT wherever he was. Really cool figures. And like I said, you know, Playmobil is always seen as a little bit of a kiddified toy line, but I love it, and especially these 80s TV shows and these 80s sets, they really do speak to me. So yeah, I was always going to pick this up. But it's a really cool set. Like I said, you know, you do get a few extras. Say Bonnie's got her little workstation there, she's got her toolbox, we've got a camera, she's got her workstation with a phone, she's even got a clipboard with all her data on it, and it's just a really nice little touch. And then of course Devon has got his desk with his computer, his phone and fax, and it's just a really nice little setup. You know, you can create a really nice diorama with this. So, but we're going to get the table cleared and take a look at KITT a little bit more closely. Okay everyone, and here is KITT. Now I've got to admit, first impressions, it's awesome. But I've said before, these 80s sort of sets that Playmobil are producing, the attention to detail is fantastic, especially on the vehicles. So as you can see, this is a Pontiac Trans Am, and it is very, very cool, very screen accurate, and I really do like it. Like I said, first impressions, it is a very, very cool vehicle. Now, again, I've got a couple of little sort of things that I'm not going to say the complaints, they're not complaints, they are just my opinion. But I remember thinking during the show, KITT was always very, very shiny. Now, the finish on this version is like a matte finish. It's not got a huge sort of gloss finish to it. It's not really shiny, and I've got to admit, I would prefer a gloss finish, a real shine, sort of see your face in it kind of stuff. I always remember in the show, KITT was always very shiny, and so I think it should have a bit more of a gloss finish, if I'm totally honest. But again, it's not really a complaint, it's just my opinion more than anything. But very, very cool. And the second, again, it's not a complaint, but the second thing that occurred to me was, if you can just see under that wheel arch, now the cream interior, the colour just comes through into that wheel arch. Now surely that just should all be black. I just think it's a little bit of a shame that they've got half the wheel arch black and half the cream colour of the interior. I think that should all be black. I know these aren't massive complaints, just little niggly things that I sort of noticed, and I just kind of feel would benefit if that was all black, but obviously you've got the cream interior. Now I always remember it was like a cream velour interior, wasn't it, Michael Knight and KITT, but a very, very cool vehicle. So obviously we've got a few decals on there, but we've got things like the flip up headlights, so they flip up. Got the stickers on there, so again just a nice little touch. Oh, that's falling down. But yeah, really cool. However, I know what you're all thinking. You're all screaming at your phones. Get to the part we all want to see and hear, Luke. Now, I don't care if you grew up in the 80s. Even if you didn't grow up in the 80s, everybody knows this sound. Now, I've got the batteries in. Now, to activate KITT, all you should have to do is touch the air intake on the hood or the bonnet if you're in the UK, and it should wake KITT up. So let's take a look. Ha 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 ha!
Industry 2000's microprocessor, KITT for easy reference, KITT if you prefer.
Now I don't know if you can hear that, but how awesome is that? So KITT, if I remember rightly, what's KITT stand for? Knight Industries 2000, and then of course we've got that iconic red light flashing back and forth. How awesome is that? Now I think there's several sayings. So if you touch the air intake, I think there's several sayings. So let's just see how many we've got. Now I've done it facing forward, everyone, because the speaker is just underneath the front end here, so I'm hoping you can hear it. So let's just see how many we've got. Oh, how cool does that sound?
I am the voice of Knight Industry 2000's microprocessor, KITT for easy reference, KITT if you prefer. Right away, Michael. Yes, well, don't you think you should pre-program me in the event you don't return?
Oh, this is so awesome. And you may have noticed, let me just see if I can get a better angle. Not only does the red light flash at the front, I think KITT's light inside actually works.
Michael, that was no accident. Yes, well, don't you think you should pre-program me in the event you don't return? You seem to be repositioning my main power booster.
And the great thing is, the light at the front goes on for quite a while after it, and then KITT signs himself off, which is just, again, a real nice touch.
KITT signing off.
I mean, how awesome is that, folks? I mean, if you wanted a Knight Rider car and you wanted to have all the features, this would not disappoint. It really won't. Now, I have noticed that when I took it out the box, I don't know if you can just see in the light there, just under the rear light there is a scratch, and there is a couple of scratches on the door as well. I don't actually know if you can see them, but which is a shame. But again, I assume that's a product of the fact that it wasn't any protective packaging, which again was a little bit frustrating, but one of those things. But I've got to say, I recommend this set. I'm so pleased I got it. That iconic red light just gives me shivers every time it comes on. And again, like I said, even if you didn't grow up in the 80s, we all know that noise that it makes, don't we? Once it starts, that sort of iconic swooshing noise. Absolutely love it. But yeah, it's just got some nice touches. Like I said, the headlights flip up at the front. We've got the changing number plate at the back. The rear lights don't work, unfortunately. I got all excited. But we've got the number plate that changes at the back. So we just flip it up. There we go. But yeah, it's a great set. Let's get everything back on the table and we'll wrap up. And there we go, everyone. So I'm not the best reviewer. It was more of an overview, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I've got to say, I think this is an amazing set. I'm so pleased I got it. Like I said, I do intend to pick up the Magnum PI set when that comes out as well. But this is just a great set. A little more on the pricey side than things like the 18 van because of the electrics. But you get, obviously, a couple of little side sets as well with Bonnie and her workstation. You get Devon and his desk and his computer. But then, of course, you've got Michael and the star of the show, KITT. One thing I didn't mention is you also get a little grappling hook to go on the back of the KITT, which I didn't bother putting together because it's very fiddly and again not really what I'm focusing on, but you do get a little grappling hook to go on the back of KITT as well, so just such a nice touch. But yeah, there we go, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by and giving me a shot. I hope you'll consider leaving a like and subscribing. And if you're one of my existing viewers and existing subscribers, oh, KITT signing off. And if you're one of my existing viewers and existing subscribers, thanks for sticking with me, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. I always try to read everyone's comments and get back to everybody. And as always, keep collecting. I'll see you next time.